Hello, and welcome to this introductory video to the PHP framework Laravel. In this video we'll be looking at when Laravel started and its progression towards its current version, why developers use Laravel, its performance, pros and cons of Laravel, websites that use it, and the license behind it. So to begin with, what is a framework? A framework makes it easier for you to develop your application. Most sites have common set of functionality, like handling sessions or data validation. And a framework is something that prevents you from rewriting this each time you create a website. All in all, it makes a developer's life much easier when creating and maintaining websites. So when did Laravel start? Laravel version 1 beta was released on June the 9th, 2011 by its creator Taylor Otwell. There were a few frameworks before Laravel, CodeIgniter being the most popular. PHP developers loved its simplicity and documentation. However, CodeIgniter lacks standard functionality such as authentication methods, and Laravel was created to fill in these gaps. So Laravel 1 had all these built-in functionalities such as authentication, eloquent ORM, libraries for extendability, and much more. However, it did not follow a model view controller yet because it didn't feature controllers. And developers enjoyed the clean syntax and grown potential. Laravel 2 was released on the 24th of November 2011, just 5 months after version 1 was released. Laravel 2 fully qualified as a model view controller framework with the addition of controllers. Other features were also introduced, such as a blade, templating engine. However, developers weren't happy with the removal of third-party modules. Laravel 3 was then released on the 22nd of February 2012, and with a new website and features. Laravel 3 was centered around unit test integration, artesian CLI, data migrations, and more. Laravel 3 was starting to hold its weight against competitive frameworks as it was gaining traction. The Laravel community also began to bloom with posts, tutorials, and lessons. Laravel 3 reintroduced the third-party modules known as bundles. Laravel 4, also known as Illuminate, was released on the 28th of May 2013. Although these releases were really fast, it indicated that Laravel was growing, but it did damage to the credibility of the framework, as developers labeled it too fast-paced and unstable. Laravel 4 was rewritten from the ground up as a collection of components that can integrate with each other to compose of the whole Laravel framework. These components could be individually installed by a dependency manager called Composer. Laravel 4 also introduced new features that weren't in other frameworks, such as database seeding, mailer messages, and queuing. The latest version of Laravel, which is Laravel 5, was released on the 4th of February 2015. This release introduced a fresh application structure as a default project, root cache improvements with regard to the artesian commands to speed up the registration of components. So why should a developer use Laravel? Firstly, if you're moving over from a previous framework or just want to start using Laravel, it can be very easy to adopt. This is because developers find the documentation exceptional. It is easy to read and presented in a simplistic way. The community in particular, Laracast videos, they can set developers well on their way to start developing. And because you can easily integrate third-party modules into your Laravel application, it can easily be extended. Using the eloquent object relational mapping technique, developers don't have to write SQL anymore. Routing in Laravel is also easy. You can pass in parameters and constraints, and you can group routes created for CRUD pages. Almost all applications require a form of authentication, and Laravel provides that to you. However, in terms of performance, it doesn't have the best performance when compared to other frameworks. However, with the release of new caching features such as root caching version 5, it does pose a dramatic speed increase. However, in the grand scheme of things, the speed doesn't have much importance unless your web application actually generates a lot of traffic. And in comparison to what Laravel has to offer in terms of features, it doesn't compare to any other framework. There are also other ways to speed up applications, such as server optimization and optimizing the framework itself. Some of the pros of Laravel. This is only to name a few. The Blade templating engine provides a clean syntax for views. It is also extendable and very fast, as it compiles into PHP and then caches the results. Database seeding can also be used to automatically generate dummy records for testing in your database, so you don't have to do that manually. Composer, I mention this because it allows you to only install modules that you need, so you don't have to bloat your whole application with features you won't be using. And even if you do need them, you can just install them. Queuing. If your application has long-running operations, by using a queue, these operations can rather be done in the background, while the user isn't constrained to the operation until it is finished. Sending emails has always been a tedious job, but Laravel provides a file for you to specify the credentials for the email to be sent. However, there are cons of Laravel. Because Laravel is so new, so finding answers is still limited in comparison to CakePHP and CodeIgniter. However, the forums and IRC seem to be quite active with helpful people, so usually the answer is findable. Laravel's core files are all within the Laravel namespace, which is inconsistent. Laravel also uses helper functions that make things very difficult. However, not all developers have to worry about this unless you are delving deep into building your own service providers. And like I mentioned before, performance is also very poor, but that can be optimized. A few websites that use Laravel: Morgan's Hotel Group, Toyota's Hall of Fame, Snappy, and GoosePHP. GoosePHP is a tool that makes it even easier and faster for you to get your website up and running with live results, and has an extensive amount of features. The license of Laravel. It uses a MIT license, meaning it's free of charge to any person obtaining a copy of the software and the associated documentation file. However, be careful of third-party components you have installed inside your project. Always include the license with your software. I hope this video has been very informative. Thank you for listening.